Hello, my name is Orly Finkler. I am 17 years old. I go to the Colegio Hebreo Targut, and today I'm going to talk to you all about some of the best theories of argumentations that the world has ever seen. So by starters, I'm going to start to tell you about Chaim Perelman. Chaim Perelman was born on May 20, 1912 in Warsaw, and sadly he passed away on January 22 of 1984 in Brussels. He was the best argumentation theorist of the 20th century, and he published his best work, and the one he's known for, in 1958, that is called The Theory of Argumentation. In this theory, he explains the way of argumentation that we do in front of a stage with a specific way of persuading and convincing people that the people you are talking with. One of the most important things you need to know that you need to change your argument, the argument you're going to talk with depends on the people you are talking. For example, if you talk with kids, you need to change your arguments so the kids can understand it. If you're talking with teenagers, the same, and last but not least, if you're talking with adults, the same too. So later on, it's Stephen Tolmin. Stephen Tolmin was a British philosopher, author, and educator who was born on March 22 of the year 1922, and very sadly, he died on December 4, 2009. Most of the works of Stephen were dedicated on the analysis of the moral reasoning, and he published the work he's known for, and his book that is called The Uses of Argument. And in this book, he explains the theory of argumentation that Stephen created and explained to all of us. And it is based in 6 parts. The theory is divided in 6 parts that are the claim, the ground, the warrant, the rebuttal, and the packing. And every argument needs to have those 6 parts be a perfect argument. So the theory of Stephen Tolmin of argumentation, it's called the influential Tolmin model of argumentation. This is a method created by the philosopher Stephen Tolmin, as I said before, and this is an influential model of argumentation that says that every article needs to be perfect. That every argument needs to be perfect if it has those 6 parts that I mentioned earlier, but I'm going to mention them now, that are the claim, the grounds, the warrants, the qualifier, and the rebuttal, and last but not least, the backing. And also we need to consider that in this theory, we need to start the argument, with the claim, the grounds, and the warrant to start in a perfect way, and to end in a perfect way, we need to have the other 3 parts. So we need to have the 6 parts to be perfect. Okay, so later on, I performed an online search about persuasive rhetorical strategies, approaches, or methods, anything that is going to help you all with making arguments and all of it. So by starting, I researched persuading strategies, and one of the ones I researched was ethos, pathos, and logos. That is one of the best strategies out there, and I use it a lot in my English essays and all. So for all of you to know, ethos refers to how the author presents itself to the world. So to establish credibility. So in ethos, you need to explain who are you, and the people need to know by this why you know so much about the theme you're talking. Later on, it's logos. Here you need to put logical and evidential facts about the thing you are talking to all the people or in the argument. And pathos, last but not least, pathos. Pathos is the conclusion. It's like a conclusion. We need to put some emotion to it so the people can know that I really care about the theme I am talking. And some of the tips I can give to you all that is on persuasive writing, we need to choose our words very carefully because we need to build a personal relationship with the reader. We need also to ask questions to engage the critical thinking of the person who is reading the article. And we need them to think a lot about what we're writing, and they need to use their mind a lot. So later on, I started some of the rhetorical strategies, and this strategy with word is used by words or phrases that are used to transmit a meaning or provoke a response. And some of them are the alliteration, the amplification, the anacolution. And the anacolution is a device that is used to do some kind of emphasis on the ideas you are trying to transmit to the world or to the reader. Another one is anagogue, and this device can be used in a positive and in a bad statement. So it's always used to explain like all of them, explain the same, a positive and a bad. And one example is when life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade. Later on, and last but not least, I researched the approaches. And there are a lot of approaches in the world, but I decided to research about these 4 because are the most usual and the easier to use. So the first one is the classical, and you all know it, is when you plan something and later on you do it. Then is the visionary, and this is by using our imagination, we create a world-changing product, doing a business model, and shaping and renewal. Most of the approaches are very, very, very good, but the one I recommend the most is the planning and execution because it's the easiest one and you can really put an effort into it. So thank you so much. I am Orly Finkler and I hope you enjoy.